Hello YouTube! Today we're making up some Chinese barbecue sauce. We call it Char Siu. Char Siu. And Char Siu got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different ingredients. And we're gonna put this together for you right now. We're gonna zoom in a little bit on that pot. There you go. Okay, I got the pot on the grill. First thing you need, I got this recipe from a guy called Kook To Cook, who I'm a subscriber of his. Been a subscriber for a while. Made another one of his recipes once called beer marinated chicken. It was excellent. And there's many recipes on YouTube how to make char siu, but I didn't like any of them. I liked Kook To Cook's recipe, and I'm going to modify it just a tad, but only one thing that I'm going to change. Anyway, I said 11, there's 12. There's 5 spice powder also. Anyway, we started this out with some Hoisin Sauce. 1.5 cups of Hoisin Sauce. And you can get that at the grocery store. Believe it or not. In fact, there were only 2 things that I couldn't get at the grocery store. And those 2 things were Chinese rice wine and the red soybean paste that you gotta have. Can you see that? Red soybean paste, you gotta have that. That's what gives this the red color, you know, the meat. And never use red food coloring. Kook To Cook's very adamant about that. If you watch his video, I'll put a link in the description to his channel, and you can watch all his videos. But you got to watch his video on this. It's great. Okay, so that was the Hoisin sauce. Next thing is a oyster sauce. You can get that at the grocery store also. It's another kind of Chinese sauce. If you don't think that frickin' fire is hot, I'm here to tell you it is. And I'm sweating. Okay, I'm cooking that up. Okay, so that was the oyster sauce. The Hoisin sauce, that was 1/2 cup of oyster. I'll put a list in the description. This is 1/4 cup of dark soy sauce. And you can get that at the grocery store too. Mix that up in there. I have to put my pot holder on because that frickin' fire is so hot. Try to get the pot over to the side. Okay, next is the rice wine, 1 cup of rice wine. And I had to go to the Chinese barbecue for that, Chinese market for that, and that's got 17% alcohol. I sure don't want to spill that into the fire. That stuff will catch like a house on fire. Okay, this is starting to come together now. This is our Char Siu sauce. We're going to put this on some pork and some chicken wings. It's got to marinate overnight. Okay, next thing is honey. 1/2 cup of honey. Oh yeah, now we're talking. 1/2 cup of honey. All right. Is that all on camera? Can you see that good? Yeah, it's looking good. Yep. I hope it all fits in this pot. I think it should though. It should. We're going to stir that up a little bit. This doesn't have to cook. I think it just has to warm to let the ingredients kind of, you know, come together in there. Next thing is sugar. 1/4 cup of sugar. So with a 1/2 cup of honey and 1/4 cup of sugar, I think this is going to be a sweet sauce. But I believe it's meant to be sweet, and I think that I think it caramelizes when you cook it. It has to. How can all that sugar not caramelize? Okay, so that was the sugar. What's next? Sugar, sesame oil. 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Sesame oil you can get at the Chinese or the grocery store. Didn't have to go to the Chinese market for that. Sesame oil. Open sesame. We make a Chinese food for you. You will like it. Onion is next. 2 tablespoons of minced onion. Yeah. Now you're talking my language. You put some bacon in there and some beer and you got something. Next is garlic. 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. garlic is good. Good. Gonna like that. Oh boy, there it goes. There you go. Okay. Let me get some more of that. And some ginger. Ginger and Marianne. Okay. So we got the ginger in there. The last and most important, and the only thing that you can't get in a grocery store, is that right? Red soybean paste. Half a cup. So I'm just going to kind of guess at this. I'm going to figure, that looks like about a half a cup. Get off there. Red soybean paste. And that red soybean paste is what gives that barbecue meat, like spare ribs or pork, it's what gives it that red color. Never use red food coloring. An old Kook To Cook was very specific about that. He wrote no food coloring in like 9 languages on his video. So let's get that red soybean paste incorporated and cooked up into that. Oh, we can't splash that stuff like that. It's not going to work out. Red soybean paste. I have no idea what's in that. I don't know what makes it red. I don't know what soybean paste is. I've never done this before. But I'll tell you what. This is going to be one hellacious good marinade. And I'm going to pour this over some. I got some pork loin cut up. And I got some chicken wings cut up. And I also have to reserve some of it for basting. So I'm going to get that soybean paste to get in there. Soybean paste. Get in there. Mix that together. It's warmed over that fire. Okay. Let those flavors complement each other, and oh yeah, it's starting to look like something now. It looks like chunks of soybean paste. That's what it looks like. I gotta mash that stuff up somehow. Okay. Char siu, baby. That's the way to go. And it's 12. Okay, that marinade is done. And I'm going to pour it on the meat. But first, this is where my recipe deviates just a tad from Kook To Cook's recipe. In his recipe, he took some Chinese 5-spice powder and he put it in the marinade. But I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to put some right on the meat. Not a lot, because this stuff is strong. You know what I mean? And I don't know how to get this open. Damn it. Oh, gosh. Alright, well, I'll just have to pour it in my hand because I don't have another container. So I'm just going to take a little bit, just a pinch of the 5-spice powder. Just kind of sprinkle it on the meat here and there. Not a lot, because it's strong stuff. And I don't think you want a lot of it in any one spot. I'm just going to sprinkle it on the meat. I should have just put it in the marinade the way Kook To Cook showed me, but I'm just too hard-headed for that. So I'm just going to sprinkle it on the meat. And it smells good. It's got 5 spices in it, which are, let's see if I can read this. Fennel seed, star anise, ginger, cloves, and cinnamon. I'm just going to sprinkle that on there, and then I'm going to spoon some of that marinade over that meat. And that's way more 5-spice powder than his recipe calls for, but too bad. And I'm just going to cover that meat with that stuff. I got to reserve some of this for basting. I don't really know how much, but some of it has to go for basting. You can see that, what a beautiful color that stuff has. Can you see that? Beautiful red color. I'll turn those in a minute and get it all over them. And put some on them chicken wings. Yeah, baby. Now we're talking Chinese. We make a flesh for you. Oh! I almost forgot to say, the reason I'm calling this the Char Siu shootout is, you know, I was looking at this recipe and it's got so many ingredients and it's such a hassle to make. And I was thinking, I wonder why they don't sell Char Siu sauce like in the Chinese grocery, you know? Wouldn't that make things a lot simpler? It would have made my life simpler with all these ingredients and stuff and having to chase all over town buying stuff. Yeah, I'm going to reserve that for marinade. And so I'm in the Chinese grocery store buying my other stuff. What do you think I found? Char Siu sauce, Chinese barbecue sauce. We make a flesh for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook these chicken wings and this pork tomorrow after it's marinated. But next week I'm going to make some ribs on the grill and I'm going to use that store-bought Chinese barbecue sauce. And I'm going to see how that turns out. You know, the Chinese ribs are really good. And if you've ever had Chinese fried rice from a Chinese restaurant, you know, it's how it's got that red pork meat in it. That's what this is all about. This is what I'm trying to duplicate. So stand by, stay tuned, and we'll show you the end result of this cook tomorrow when I cook it on the grill. This is the Root Boy Cooks, so stay tuned.